I have to read this consent
Mhm.
before we record, and you have to either agree or disagree to be recorded. The purpose of this consent to video record will grant permission for a live taping of an actual interview. Any discussion topics will be offered voluntarily and will be held in strict confidentiality by the student, partners, and their instructor. This information will be recorded and submitted for a review. Feedback will be offered from the instructor related to a specific reference made during the recording. If this material is to be used as part of an open course instruction, any names or identifying information will be changed to protect the anonymity of the students in the recording. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree to the consent and this video being done.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you. Hi, Kevin. How are
you
you
doing?
today? Nice to see you again.
Yeah, nice to see you again.
So, in our last session, you were telling me how your family is over in Jamaica.
Yeah.
And you said you were supposed to go back for around Thanksgiving time.
Yes, I got back. I got back Sunday. I was there for 2 weeks. You know, I went down. I think it was earlier this month. I went to see them, start some business out. But it was pretty nice, you know, being there and seeing them. Got to spend some time together, catch up on things that, you know.
Now, do any of your sisters have children?
Yes, so I have two sisters that have children, but all all their children are overseas. So I think my oldest sister, she has two sons. They're both here. They're graduated Wednesday in the U.S. Army. And then my other sister, her son is now in training. I think he has like 3 weeks left. But I did get to see my niece. She's about 13 years old now. She was there with us, and I left her like this height. She's now taller than I am.
Oh,
Kids grow so fast, you know.
so it's gathering that you actually are very happy to be able to
Yes,
see.
we went places. We went out to have dinner. Went to the beach. It was
Was
it
the
was
weather
pretty
nice?
good. Yes, excellent weather. You know,
Not stormy like it is here in New York
nah,
right now?
we had like 81 degrees. That's pretty good weather.
So, what is like the holidays like over in Jamaica? Because I know in
Ah,
America we just sit down like and have a turkey dinner and stuff. What do you
yeah,
guys
but we
do in?
don't do Thanksgiving in
Oh,
Jamaica. It's only a US culture in a
okay.
sense. It's just a regular day in Jamaica. Children are still in school, everything, but
So there's no like break and stuff. They're
no
still in school.
break.
Okay. Yep, I'm
So they'll
gathering.
be in school until maybe about December the 5th. They're about the 6th, and then they'll get their break, end of year break.
And how long is their break for?
Just for December.
Just for
January, maybe the 6th. Whenever there's a Monday in January, they are going straight back to school.
So I'm gathering nice information that of how things are different over in Jamaica. So
Yes.
you have to. Is it hard for you to juggle the different culture from Jamaica and then the way that the schedules are over in the United States?
I think that I have, you know, what would the word be? I think that I've adapted to both cultures in a sense. I mean, I'm still adapting to the culture here because I've only been here 2 years now, but going back to Jamaica, it's not that hard to, you know, go back into society. I mean, things are different now with inflation. I mean, I went back, things that were for like, say I left an item for $10, it's now like $30. That's more than 100% increase in price. So the cost of living, the standard of living, it's a bit different because I know Jamaica is a third world country. This is a first world country. So, you know, I go back there, I get a little, it's still a little culture shock because even here, like the roads, everything are different. It's quite noisy in Jamaica. Here you barely find people using unk in their arms, and it's like, so
So I heard you also say it was not just a family visit. I gathered you said you had some other business to
yeah,
take
you know,
care
I
of
had
out
some
there.
bank accounts, some land issues that I needed to sort out and stuff
So I'm
like
gathering
that.
it
So
was financial, and so it was kind of business and
business
pleasure
and
together.
leisure. So yeah, but
Very
you
nice.
know,
I'm sure.
it was.
So next time, will the sisters try to come to the United States, or will?
Hopefully, because I mean, one of my sister, her son is in the army now, so the whole immigration process, it should be easier for her to get here through filing and whatever. So
So how do you feel about the fact that you got nephews in the service and they're following their uncle's footsteps? Because I
um,
remember in the past you said you were part of the service too.
you know, I think that is a great opportunity for our younger adolescents because coming here as an immigrant, and it's like you're way behind in a sense. Because if you come here, then you'd need to go back to college. Sometimes you don't have the funding. So going into the military, I think it's a great start. So I always tell them, listen, you can do it. Just know that, all right, this is what I want to achieve. And then maybe like just do a contract, 3 years, 5 years. And then you can get out, you go back to school, get your life on track. So I believe that it is a good opportunity for us to go that route. And then
So I'm gathering you'd advocate for all immigrants to if they
if
can pass all
yeah,
the
and if they're
prerequisites
interested,
to.
yep. But
Okay.
it's a great opportunity though for everyone.
Well, I can say that I definitely agree with that because
Mm-hmm.
my son-in-law was he's finishing up his last year in his second term it is. So
Mm-hmm.
this will be the end of his 8th year. So and then now that he's married and has my grandson, he's like, all right, I did my due diligence of being in the
Mm-hmm.
service, so now it's time I got my career set up and be a family man. So I totally agree with that.
Yeah, so it's a great start for anyone that wants a start coming here. Because even though I am not there, but if things were different, if I came here different, maybe I didn't have any family, stuff like that, I'll just go straight into the army and then transition from there back into the world because you get a lot of benefits and stuff like that.
So by being part of the army, though, was it able to help you in the adaptation process into the United States culture?
That's the thing. I was speaking about this the other day, and I was saying I think that the army has prepared me because even now, I went home. It's been Sunday, 3 days now since I've got back, but I don't feel that type of like a miss. I do miss them, but it's not burdensome on me because whilst I was in the army, I was always away for periods. So this now, leaving home and coming back here, is just like, okay, I was at camp for a year. I went to home and now I have to be back at camp. So I think that the army has strengthened my mind in that sense that, I can transition from being at one place to a next, staying away from family. I mean, I still miss them, but it doesn't put that burden
So
on me.
let me know if I'm correct. Then you also feel that the army has actually given you a sense of resilience of your
Mm-hmm.
emotions, being able to, like, as you said, because you just also left your wife in the
Mm-hmm.
United States. So it was probably easier to leave her. You got
So
yourself in the mindset of you're going away for a little bit, but then coming back.
then coming
And
back
then by seeing your family, you got the same mindset of, okay,
to
I'm
leave,
going
and
away and coming back.
that's correct. Yeah,
That's
so
that's a
it's
that's a good quality to have.
so it builds you in that sense. Maybe some things that I'm not trying to generalize, but maybe something that a regular civilian could not endure. Maybe the army will put your mind in a space where you can endure this because of all the hardship that you have faced there. Sometimes it can be negative, but it's also positive.
So anything else been on your mind?
Uh, Not necessarily. I mean, you know what? I feel more comfortable now here talking. This is our second session, so I feel like I can speak more. But I've been having this problem where I think that I did not grow with my mom. Like she left for England when I was like 3 years. No, I was in the third grade. That was about 9 years old. And then my dad was never around. So I believe that this also kinds of plays a toll on me in a sense that I can cut people off easily. Like emotionally, I'm hard in a sense with all of these, the army, that experience, everything. And then sometimes I think that it's something that I need to work on. Not just cutting off people, not just being emotionless sometimes. And even sometimes I sit and I think, what if I was supposed to get a child? Because I'm not open sometimes to talk about my experience with my parents. And what if I get a child and they're like, where's my grandfather or my grandmother? And I believe that I need to, open up more. But it's just our transition throughout life. I once had my dad said to me that I was speaking to him on the phone, and it was like his parents passed away from he was young. So that me being as young as I was, I started to think to myself, maybe he's saying to me that, I didn't have parents, so you don't need them either. And then that was like just a conversation and from that I never bounced back, as in I never reached out to him.
So I'm gathering too of it. Definitely, it shows that it has impacted your life, and it seems
Impacted.
since you're young, you
Mm-hmm.
would like to have children of your own, and it seems like that when you do have children, you could possibly want to use your experience
Mm-hmm.
to try to give them stuff that you didn't have.
But I also want to be able to open up to them about what has happened with me and my parents. Even though I'm giving them that love, I still want to be able to say, okay, your grandfather was like this, or if they say, where's him? Because I find that I sometimes brush this conversation off. Like, even if I'm in a settings and somebody say, I never heard you speak about your mom, or just not say anything. So I think that I need to work on, opening up more.
So I'm
And
gathering you're afraid of people putting a judgment on you first because you're not
not,
able to talk about your mom. So they're making assumptions that may not be true.
because sometimes it's like, I would say that, all right, I can't say to a person that, listen, it was at a point where I couldn't say that, listen, I love my mother, because I just didn't feel it. We didn't grow together. She left without telling me anything. I just grew up on my own. So it's kind of like, it was kind of like just a regular relationship, speaking to a random stranger. So if I would say to somebody that I don't love my mom, then it would just feel like, I'm ungrateful for being born and stuff like that. We just don't have that relationship. So it's just not there.
So do you feel that maybe your older sister kind of stepped in and took the motherly role?
At
Are you
times.
close to, are you
But we were all lost. Like,
you all lost?
they wanted somebody, I wanted somebody. So, but they tried their best though. But we grew up in a society where we didn't have it either. We were like poor, call it poor. We were happy, but we were poor. So, certain things we never had.
Right.
So our standard of living, it wasn't the best. You understand? We couldn't get counselors, stuff like that. It's just a whole different society. So we just had to figure out ways to cope.
So it sounds like this is something that you want to continue to work on. So it's probably something that you could have a few more sessions, and we can come up with an action plan and all that to go about how to do that. And maybe you get like a journal or something like that to put your emotions in, so that or write your story so that you have it prepared for the day that you do have kids.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
All right. So yeah, based on today, it looks like you felt definitely more comfortable. You opened up about your hardships with the fact that you had not a mother that wasn't that present. Your father wasn't around, and so you utilized the best going
Mhm.
into the service and dealing and taking in what you had, but now that you can reflect on your past, it looks like you're thinking that yes, there was a lot of positive the Army gave you, but you're feeling that it kind of made more concrete of
Mhm.
being dismissive of people and kind of like keeping them at bay and stuff like that.
Yes, that's correct.
All right, well, we will continue this at our next session, and
Mhm.
um, don't forget that this is always a safe place, and
Mhm.
I thank you for coming.
Okay, thank you. It was
Have a
nice
wonderful
being
day.
here. Okay.